affect everything you do. This winter, rely on the experts. Nobody knows weather like we do.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
This is Weather Center. I'm Dave Schwartz along with Robert Bailey. We're keeping an eye on two storms, one heading from the southeast U.S. up into the mid-Atlantic states and New England, where an ice storm has begun, and in the Pacific Northwest, the Northern Rockies, it's rain, wind, and snow. Let's start off in the west. Salt Lake City, a winter wonderland. The snow began before morning rush hour. Here in the suburbs, we had about 4 inches of snow, perfect for a jog. Temperature rose into the mid-30s in Salt Lake City, so the roads were just wet, but some beautiful scenes out of the Cache River Valley. Here in Seattle, it was all rain. Temperature was up around 40, and the wind became a factor as the day wore on. Winds were gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour, putting the strain on some nerves and on some umbrellas here in western Washington state, and that continues to be a problem here tonight. Well, there's been a lot of rain to fall in the Pacific Northwest since 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You can see the rain piling up in that section of the country, but your eye is drawn to the dark green from northern Florida now up into Pennsylvania. That is the storm that is now moving up the east coast. And this is what we saw from that storm during the day on Monday. Raleigh, North Carolina, temperature in the 40s during the day, a raw day. Folks needed these low beams during the daytime too, not just at night. The rain continues. We've had about 3/4 of an inch of rain in Raleigh. Temperatures warmed up to the mid-50s. Some winds have turned around to the southeast, so we're not going to have any icing problems here in Raleigh. West of Raleigh, out in the Piedmont, there were some icy problems. Where will the ice be here in the morning? It is going to be right here in upstate New York and interior sections of New England. Here's how it's going to shake out. We've got high pressure, strong high pressure sitting over New Brunswick and now just off the coast. The cold air is in place. The winds have turned southeasterly here in Raleigh, and they will eventually here in the northeast. But in the short term, it's going to be an icy morning for those of us who live, say, from Poughkeepsie northward. This moisture heads in over top of this cold air at the surface, and what we are left with is this. Icy conditions on Interstate 81, 87, the Mass Pike west of, say, Worcester, and Interstate 91 all the way up through the Connecticut River Valley. New Haven, okay. Hartford, kind of dicey here in the morning, north of Hartford and up in towards Springfield, Mass. Some ice out there on the roads. It's already begun in Glens Falls, New York, and Albany. We've already got some ice. East of the Syracuse exits on the New York Thruway, there could be some icy spots on the highway, bridges and overpasses. And then further north, there are going to be some problems here too. Let's get into some detail. There you have it. That is the orange. That's the freezing rain. So in Syracuse and Rochester, Buffalo, we're just fine. The rain's actually going to be shutting off. An upper level disturbance moving through southern Ontario at the present time, helping to draw in some of this moisture, and a very weak area of low pressure centered over Hagerstown, Maryland. Showers and thunder showers along the immediate east coast. Philadelphia, rain. All of New Jersey, rain. New York City, rain. Long Island, rain. Turning windy as the day wears on. New Haven, rain. Groton and Bridgeport, also rain. And in the Boston metropolitan area, rain, but at the very beginning of this, there could be a little frozen stuff out toward Bedford and Ayer, Massachusetts, also Littleton. Then you'll turn on over to rain. High temperature in Boston on Monday was 47 degrees. We've cooled off, but then the temperature will rise here beginning in a couple of hours. New York City, 43 degrees, 39 in Washington, D.C., and 39, that's Raleigh-Durham. 64 was our high temperature in El Paso, Texas. Beautiful stuff. Upper 70s here in Florida. McAllen, Texas, the hot spot at 83. Phoenix at 68 degrees. High pressure and firm control here, as you can see. But here in the Pacific Northwest, that's where we've got the problems with the rain, the wind. That is going to be continue to be a problem for travelers and homeowners. Flood watches are in effect here. The wind's very strong up in the mountains and down along the Front Range of the Rockies. In a situation like this, boy, in western Montana, back down through Wyoming, and even into Denver and Boulder and Golden, Colorado, some very gusty winds gusting over 60 miles per hour. A lot of snow, a lot of rain for Seattle, and then into Portland. As the day wears on, it's going to be a very, very wet day. So there we have it. 2 storms, 2 areas of rain and snow and ice, and flood watches are in effect for Poughkeepsie and in Seattle and Portland. Watch it out there. Watch the travel. Well, there's a look at high temperatures south of all that mess. We're looking good. Dallas, Miami, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. Let's check around the country, see what's coming up for the rest of the week.